pick it like a boogie.
Back from the dead.
Oh, yeah, kind of. That was rough, man. Food poisoning or whatever the fuck, but it was rough.
Yeah.
Was it just like stomach stuff or was it like anything else?
I was like projectile vomiting. Legit
Damn.
projectile. I have never done that before in my life.
How
So
long did
that's
it?
everything. Um, it was just like Sunday night. We slept in the bathroom on the floor.
I think you had what I had.
It
Oh,
was so bad. And then Monday, um, was a wash. I woke up at 2. I texted Cameron. I was like, I cannot send you progress photos. No way. Like, and I went back to bed, woke up at 4 p.m., did all my check-ins for my clients, didn't do any additional work that day, went to sleep at 9. It was a 5-hour day.
Yeah.
It was rough,
damn.
but we're good now. It did not help with my dieting. I thought I would drop some weight, but I didn't.
Oh, damn. You don't even get like anything good from it.
Mm-mm. I looked a little leaner in my photos today, but it was
Yeah.
mainly just flat. So yeah, didn't get shit from that.
Damn. That sucks.
Yeah.
I gotta ask though, like when you
Hmm.
guys are sick, like, are you someone that's like, oh, I just want to throw up so I'll feel better? Or do you like try to keep it down? Like, for example, like Eric wants to just like get it out of his system. But for me, like throwing up is so traumatic. It's like a full body like spasm that I hate. So like I'll just like fight mentally, like you keep it in. Don't be a bitch. Like you keep that shit in. But like it for me is like it's awful. It is so awful. So are you guys the same way? Or are you like Eric, where you're just like, nah, let it flow, man?
It depends,
Hmm.
honestly. Like, I had no choice. This time it just came out of me.
Yeah.
But typically, yeah, it still depends. Like, if I know, like, maybe I took something, if we like go out and then I feel sick because of that,
Yeah.
then I'll be like, okay, well, it's a toxin in my body. I'm just gonna make myself puke and then it'll
Yeah.
feel better. But if I can help it, I do not want to puke because I'll
Okay, so
literally
you're like me.
stand over the toilet like, like I don't want.
Dude,
But
that is
this
me
time it
to
was
the
just like,
core. Laura, you just
I
like get it out. I'm a pro at this. Like, what are your thoughts?
Fun fact. I feel like I'm the only human that has done this. But prior to me getting sick in the Bahamas, I had not thrown up since I was probably 5 years old in over 30 years. I
So, is it because
never,
you don't like it, or you just
I'm
don't?
just not a puker. I had like a really bad virus once when I was a little kid. I was never a
Yeah.
puker as a kid either. I'm not someone that gets motion sickness, but
Mhm.
I avoided it at all costs.
I'm bad with motion sickness. For a while, like growing up, I have to sit in the middle row if I'm in the back seat, or I have to be like up front. I can't
Mhm.
be down like reading a book or anything. I can look at my phone though briefly, but if I'm like doing work on the laptop or something when I'm driving or being driven, not driving, that would be dangerous. Um, yeah, I get nauseous. But
Damn. Yeah,
I feel
I hate throwing up. Like
mm,
I'll like battle it. Like I know I always feel better afterward, but it's just like it is such an unpleasant experience that like if I can like avoid it, I will like bully myself into like not doing it.
you fucking bitch. Don't you
Literally,
do?
but Eric, like it's it's like him sneezing. You know what I'm saying? Like especially when he used to get like drunk, it would just be like oh like a little baby spit up and he'd be fine. And I'm like, what the fuck?
I was hoping that this was going to be like a get out of my system and feel good, but it was not. I
Yeah.
literally felt so out of it the whole my Monday. It was so
Damn.
weird. And then Tuesday when we were training, we were just like, eh. We had our emotional couple socks on, which were super cute, but they were needed that day, man. Like it was rough,
Oh my
but
goodness.
we're feeling good.
Love
feeling
hearing
clean.
that. But
What
Laura,
do you think?
Said feeling clean, cleaned out.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
it's like you like took that frog tape. You guys know what I'm talking about? Like the tape shit where it's like it pulls toxins or whatever out of you. I don't know. There was like something I heard like this was years ago where it was like frog tape or some shit like that, where it was this like toxin cleansing thing. That's what it sounds like.
I
It's
thought you
not
were
like
talking
frog
about
like
the
shit where it's
sticking
like Gore's
frog
bear
things.
worms. Like Like frog, like it's like frog tape. Like look it up. It's a real thing.
Oh, I thought you were talking about those sticky, like long frogs that you throw at the wall and they stick and like you pull it down. You know what I'm talking about? Like the slap hands,
Yeah.
the hands.
Oh yeah.
I used to
Yeah.
do that all the time and get yelled at because I do
Oh
them like
yeah.
in my brother's face as a kid.
I don't even know what it is.
Looking
It's
it up.
like frog the frog. I'm like fucking that up somehow. Because like I'm looking up like frog toxic and it's coming up with like are frogs toxic? And that's not what I'm looking for. Damn. I feel like
Yeah.
someone might get it out though.
If you're listening to this and know what the hell Ash is talking about.
Literally, like maybe it's I swear to God, it was I don't know. Maybe this girl was like so woo-woo that like she just like pulled something out of her ass. Also could be a
Most
thing.
people are. Most people are.
But yeah, any news or anything like that? Like Laura, your wellness girl competed.
She
Yeah.
did. It honestly went as good as it possibly could have gone. Um, the only thing that did suck a little bit about it is she had maybe 4 seconds on stage. I've actually never in all my times competing seen it. So
Really? And
yeah,
it was
which was
just a regional show?
yeah, which was
Was
unfair to the athletes. Like she came off stage and was like almost in tears because she's like, "What did even just happen?" Because it
Oh,
was so fast. They didn't even move them around for comparisons. You got on stage, did a quick turn off.
that's how it was for Kristen, pretty much at nationals. They didn't move her. Same with Jasmine. Jasmine didn't get moved at all. So
They didn't move anybody though at all.
no, yeah, yeah. Same at Jasmine's show. They just and then left. Yeah, I don't know if that's a new thing, but
Uh,
oh,
I could see like for people like us that have been on stage before, but like even in like a novice category, things like that's overwhelming.
yeah.
Like
how big was the show? Was it a big show?
no, it was a small show. There's
Yeah.
honestly only 3 girls in our class, and
What
the
the
girl.
fuck?
That's dumb.
Well, you got the feedback and you guys know what you need to improve on anyway, so
Hmm.
Yep, and actually my old coach was one of the judges, so it was really nice. Like he gave her a whole long like, you look great, you have great presentation. Conditioning was as good as it could be for basically your muscle maturity. We need to add more size all over. And these were all things I told her. Like I let off the gas probably 10 days out or so because if I had gotten her any leaner, she would have for sure looked bikini. So like it was kind of a we needed to keep some shape because any smaller she would have been even too small, even small, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
So she got her feet wet. She realized she loved it and wants to take a long off season and put on size. And
hell yeah, that's awesome.
Is there a
That's
reason why you didn't
good.
also put her in a bikini?
she didn't want it.
She didn't want to. Okay.
And
Yeah.
I resonate with that, and I'm sure like you get this too. It's like when you have your heart set on it and the amount of work that goes into it, like, and I didn't even
Oh
have the
yeah.
conversation of like, let's do both because I put myself in her shoes from when I competed the year before, and I had a lot of people chirping in my ear too, like you should do bikini, and like it was to the point that I almost pulled out like a couple days before the show because I was that deterred with how my physique looked, and I wasn't going to do that to her. So we had the conversation after, and I told her like, if you want to compete again soon, we guide you down further, and you get jump in bikini if you're okay with spending a year, 2 years to grow. Stay in wellness. She's like, I loved how I felt. I love starting to see the shape come. I don't care how long it takes. I'm here for the long haul. So
Yeah.
Mhm. I get that, but also devil's advocate, like it was her first show. So it's like having that experience, especially since she had no time on stage. Like I would have just been like, yo, just fucking go in bikini just to like get more stage time. Because like the first show, like the fact that she got 4 seconds, that blows. Like
Yeah.
what, $200 I guess she spent on open and novice or open and true novice. Yeah, I would have just done them all, man, just to fucking compete and get some time on stage. Cause like that, all that work for 4 seconds, that breaks my heart for her. Because like my first show, it was small and they were like, y'all just take your time and have fun. I was like, fuck yeah. And I looked awful, but I owned it.
Yeah. But I agree with that. I mean, shit, I'd feel pretty shitty if like my coach is like, yeah, we can do both classes. Like, no, I feel like there needs to be a definitive, like, you're doing this division. Because at this point in the game, guys, like, if you can cross over into figure and wellness, you're neither of those. If you can cross into bikini and wellness, you're neither of those.
Mhm.
Like, pick a fucking category, follow what the like, you know, the actual requirements are of that category and just put in the work. Like, I hate this crossover bullshit. I was petty in my story this morning because somebody asked me about like why I changed divisions. And I pretty much said like, I'm just over here doing like the long haul of like taking an off season to actually change into a division instead of just doing a crossover and saying, "Oh, I'm wellness." Like, I hate that. So I'm happy that she chose to just stick with wellness. That's what she wants ultimately. So go for it.
I think that if the desire is there to put in the work and you're willing to do so, you should go to a category you
Yeah.
feel compelled to, because
Yeah.
you're gonna enjoy it more.
Yeah. But I get it also for getting more stage time. I would
Mhm.
have done the freaking men's open classes too if I had the damn. I mean,
At
it's
that point too,
2024.
though, it's too late because like it wasn't like
Yeah,
the
you can't
it's
even
Mm,
posing for
jump in.
bikini and
Oh yeah, for sure.
that's true. That's true. But especially
I,
like your first show or maybe your first year where it's like you're not really sure exactly like what category you even want to compete. You can get judges' feedback and obviously the posing is so different, especially between like bikini and wellness and then obviously the bigger division. So I personally don't see like a super big negative as to like if you're doing crossovers just to like see where you fit in and then
mm,
from there making an informed decision based on like the posing, the training, like also thinking about like do you want to be as big as, figure WPD or do you want to maybe be a bit more feminine and stay in I say smaller, but it's like relative because obviously we know wellness and bikini are not small. So I
mm,
personally don't see any harm to it, but if you're like 3, 4 years into the sport and you're just like taking a shotgun with birdshot and just hoping you get a trophy, that I have more of an
yeah,
issue with because that tells me you just want the trophy. You don't want the best physique because when you have that many years of skin in the game and you have no direction, that makes me personally just go, pick something.
yeah, yeah. But what are your guys' thoughts on, because I've seen this from time to time, and I'm happy that I didn't go this way either, going to the smallest muscle class and then working your way up to what you truly want. Because if I would have done that, I wouldn't have done figure. I would have started with bikini because I was tiny as hell for my first figure um, show. But if I did that, I probably wouldn't have turned pro in figure. I feel like a lot of people waste time trying to fit into that smaller category when their head is already in the bigger muscular class. I see this all the time with like men's physique athletes. They always talk about how like, oh, I pushed so many years of men's physique when I could have just taken a longer off season, grown into classic, which
Mhm.
is what they wanted, or even open at that. And it's not wasted time, but it kind of is, especially when your age is on the side too. Um, so what are your thoughts? Like, should you start with the smaller muscle class or should you just go like balls to the wall for the category you want?
Yeah, if you don't have a fucking clue, like see what you like. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? But if you're like, I like the shape of figure, don't waste your time training
Yeah.
bikini. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't fucking waste your time. But the
Hmm.
people that are indecisive, I think the big positive of not knowing is gaining that experience and gaining that confidence and growing into the sport. And also, back when you were turning pro, like bikini like is not nearly as like competitive as it is now because the sport has grown thankfully. So because we are in my opinion probably as competitive as we've ever been in terms of like the different criteria for all the classes, it's like I would say your first competitive season if you don't know, play around, like kind of do like a speed dating, figure out which one you like, but if you know in your heart you have a look that you want to go fucking get, go like just off to the races. Like don't waste time, don't be doing like bikini style training if you want to be like a WPD bitch, but that's just like my opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
But still train
I
your
would,
glutes because Sid has glutes.
I would agree with that too. I mean, I feel like you have to play into the fact too that the physique that you bring to stage is also the physique that you live in. So if you're working at building a physique that you don't like, this is why I didn't do figure. Naturally, that's where I fit best, but
Mhm.
I didn't want to grow my upper body any more than it was. I didn't like the look of what my upper body looked like when I had a healthy amount of body fat on because my upper body was so dominant and it
Mhm.
wasn't the physique that I wanted to live in. And therefore it wasn't exciting and fun and enjoyable to do that training and requirements to get to the stage look. The only thing I liked was how I looked the day of. And that sucks because it's one day, you know? So I think that you need to be in a body that you also like for real life.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that can just like take time, like athlete maturity, because like especially when you're so new into the sport, you just don't have a fucking clue. And especially if you like get like a cookie cutter coach that doesn't really give you any direction or honest feedback, they're just like wanting to put bodies on a stage. It's like you don't know until you like grow into it. So yeah, you can view it as wasted time, or you can view it as like you just didn't know and you were trying to figure things out and do your best. But I think now with how competitive physiques are nowadays, especially when you're looking at like the enhanced crowd, you don't have time to dig around. Like if you know, like I said, like go all in, hire a coach that is going to go all in with you, and don't stop until you create the physique that you are proud of. But even before you think about competing, like fall in love with the training. Like, don't dick around with your meals. Like, eat real food. Eat like you want to grow. Train like you want to grow. Sleep like you want to grow. Have all of your ducks in a row to where you just love the lifestyle, then compete. Don't just like, get a Planet Fitness membership and get a set of Lululemon and be like, oh, I want to be a bikini competitor. Like, no, like already put in the work to love the lifestyle, then go ahead and start competing because like you will just have more fun and you will already have that discipline and that mindset and that hunger to get better. Where I don't want to say it'll be easier because it's still going to be fucking hard because it's just a hard thing, but it'll be less of a shell shock and a culture shock. And I don't think like you'll become, I think, just a better athlete instead of the it's just perpetuating like an eating disorder or like a thing of control. You know what I'm saying? Because that was my issue. It was a control thing that I was just like, I want to be competing. And then I like, fucked up everything.
I
Yeah.
guess you
I'm sorry.
shoot.
I was just gonna say we talked about this kind of before. Is like people in their off seasons not really putting in effort or actually being diligent and following an off season plan. So that way when they get to prep, it is like a total 180. Like for me to switch gears to switch into prep, I just cut out my once a week off plan meal. That's it. You
That's all it
know,
should be, dude.
yeah, that's honestly, but
Yeah.
like there's people they got to cut out like the alcohol every weekend. They got to cut out the takeout every other day. Like if your off season is that night and day different to your prep, you're gonna struggle. Now, there's some people, of course, in the off season, if they have to push their food up so high, they might be choosing more processed foods to get in those calories. So that actually might still hold true in their prep to begin with, but still, their like routine, their regimen, their training intensity, their cardio, whatever it is, steps, water, all that is still being hit in the off season. And that's where people like I always talk about like part-time bodybuilders. Like they
Oof.
want full-time bodybuilder results, but they're only putting in the work during their preps,
Mhm.
That's why you don't get better. I don't get it.
That's why
What were you
people
gonna
like
say?
grow into the show.
Grown to the show.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
Sorry, Laura. What were you saying? You had a good insight.
Oh, I
Yeah.
was just thinking about how you were saying that about being time wasted kind
Mhm.
of is because every time you diet down, you're also having to then reverse to a point that then you're in like a health phase that then you can start trying to grow again. And two, every time that you diet down, depending enhanced or what you're using or whatever, you do lose some muscle in that process of dieting down. So if you're trying to get bigger, it does kind of set you backwards.
Mhm.
Especially when we're talking about competition prep dieting down. Because like, yeah, me in a diet right now, that's beneficial to my growth.
Yeah.
Because it's keeping me insulin sensitive. It's keeping my body composition away from being a fucking whale. Like, like it's good for me. But if you're doing a show prep every single year because you're not big enough for that division yet, take another year off and just get bigger, you know? So I
Intensity.
agree with you.
But that's like the thing where it's like that I would almost bet in the amateur field. Like obviously if you're a professional and you're competing every year, you're trying to qualify for the O. And
Yeah.
most people like that's just a different conversation. But as an amateur, if you're competing every single year, unless you're this close, like this close to a national stage on your pro card, just take a year, two, three. You don't need to be like me and take 5 years off because I had a lot of growing that I needed to do, like up here and physically, but like take the time to invest in yourself as a person, have an off-season plan, enjoy the bodybuilding. Like I know it's so fucking cliche about bodybuilding, but like that's the whole point of the fucking sport is to build the physique, to add on muscle tissue. And like especially as a female, like we take the hit harder when we prep just because of how our bodies are when it comes to not being as resilient to stress as guys are. And that's just like the luck of the draw of being a female. So do yourself a favor and like take actual time off to grow, learn how to train, actually learn how to train, learn how to eat. Like, don't start a prep if you're only eating like 200 grams of carbs. Like, be able to like train harder so you can push up your food. So that way you actually have a starting point to pull from when you do prep instead of, like I said, like, okay, you're 200 carb. Okay, well, we have to make a nice deficit. So now you're already down to 150, maybe 130. It's like, shit. Like, it's going to be a fucking hard prep. But I think people just don't either think long term or they're so addicted to looking lean and like fitting into the extra small clothes that they forget what it's like to not be stage lean and be a person and have energy and to be able to go on dates or to go see friends and be present and not just like feel like a zombie that you're just like existing because you're so fucking tired. Like I feel like literally some people just like forget what it's like to be a human being.
Agreed. I like how you said the 200 carb thing before prep because like I remember back in my figure days with like my off season for that, like I was never able to push my food up that high. And
Mhm.
like I never thought I trained like a bitch or anything like that. Like, but my training is 100% better now. And I train way, way harder. But I always saw like I know Shelby Starnes is like the one who always posts like his
Six,
you know,
700, eight
Like
hundred.
seven
1,000
yeah.
calories. I'm
I'm
like,
like,
or
what?
1,000 carb.
Yeah. I'm like, okay, well, they have to be pumping up the insulin, which they are. They are. But like other people sharing their macros that are so high, I was like, I'm never gonna get there. Like, how are these people shredded and doing that? But now I'm sitting here like kind of doing that. Like I'm in a dieting phase, looking pretty decent, a little shredded now. And
Bitch, you
I'm
have
eating,
striated glutes.
yeah, and I'm eating like 385 carbs, but it's because back then I was probably training like a bitch, doing too much fluff volume.
Hmm.
And my off plan meals would start literally the day after I checked in. I would check in and then I'd be like, oh, I can eat a little bit of something, something. And then I can have my off plan meal and then eat a pint of Ben Jerry's and then have breakfast in the morning. And then I'll get back on plan. And that's just how it rolled.
Mhm.
That's why my body composition stayed like meh. It was good. Like I looked good, but my midsection was never tight like it is now. People are just like, oh, it's just your genetics. I'm like, bitch, no, it's not. Like, I have proof that it's not. I wasn't fat,
Dude, when
but I
people play the
was,
genetics and the waist,
I'm like, no, because they're like seeing me get so lean and shredded now, and I'm not prepping yet. And they're like, oh, you must be prepping for a show, just not telling anybody. I'm like, nah, I'm just, I'm just dieting. I just control my eating and I'm in a better headspace now. But I'm still not at 1,000 carb though. I think
I don't
well,
think
I
I
get
would
to like
never want to.
500 or something. No, me either.
Like that. At that point, like you're not even, you're just like doing gummy bears and honey and pray to
I know
God.
that's what I was doing with like fruit strips and honey, and I was like, all right, I'm good. But now I'm like, fuck, I want my 2 bagels a day again. Like I miss it. I have English muffins now, not even bagels. I had a bagel yesterday. I fit it in, and I was like,
Ooh, bagel bitch. Speaking of bagels, you guys remember how I was going off? I was like, Facebook alert, post alert. And I was
yeah,
like talking about,
yeah.
okay, so group chat. That's what he looked like on stage. Tell me why he has a hamster in his pants.
What?
Tell me why he has a hamster in his pants. This
What?
motherfucker went to PetSmart and just stuffed a couple of gerbils in there.
Can Eric put that on the screen? The fuck?
But homeboy went to PetSmart and be like, I would like your two of your largest gerbils, please.
I don't even know what I'm looking at.
That's insane.
Isn't that funny? Oh my
God,
gosh.
he's that's terrible.
I know.
That's hilarious.
I know. My friend Angela sent me that, and Angela always listens to the podcast. But yeah, um,
Wow.
yeah.
Yikes.
So
No.
Anyways,
Laura's just like, Wow.
I
I'm
think that's
uncomfortable for him.
that's almost as bad as that IFBB Pro. What's his name? Bo, is it? I call him Bo Dick, but it's like
Moby Dick.
it's the guy with like literally like the biggest. I don't know. That's all you can
It's
see.
like
Let
just
me
like a
try to
Santa
find out.
sock. Dude, I'll tell you what though, like, I don't know. Like I remember that one time that picture that Meg you sent, and it was just this girl wearing like probably wasn't Gymshark, I don't know, some designer
Hmm.
shorts, and like her vagina was just eating those shorts, man. I mean, like it was like Thanksgiving Day in her pants, and you just saw like
God.
I was like, oh God, how do you not feel that? How do you not feel like your vagina eating your shorts? Because like, I feel a
Yeah.
wedgie and I pick that shit clean. I pick it like a boogie. Like just get it out of there.
That yeah.
I feel like
Oh,
for guys though, like that may be something that's unavoidable when they're on stage.
well, I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
it's
But
their
like,
balls. But well, is it their balls? Because they are running some shit, so they got some shriveled up raisins in there.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's
what is that? He's stuffing.
That's what I'm saying. That looks like he went to Build-A-Bear and he just like got the stuffing. He like, put the little heart, kissed it, and like stuffed it in his pants. You know what I'm saying?
That was weird.
But I mean, yeah, like obviously you have like your sock on, and that's just like as good as it's gonna get. But still, I don't know.
family crowd.
Also,
Either that or we're full of shit, and this man is just blessed by God. So like, I mean, either it's the hamster
Contacts
route
us
or
after this podcast.
I'll ask. Like, hey, question for you.
I know I'm trying to find that guy for you guys. I know you've seen him before, but one thing I have noticed less of, maybe I'm just not following a bunch of open bodybuilders. I'm seeing less sock and tanning uh photos. Like where they just have like the baby sock on their Peter.
Oh
Baby
yeah.
sock, the little shorty socks.
Dude, that's so weird to me.
I'm
I'm just
honestly impressed that it stays on. Like, I get it's a sock, and a sock is like, it goes on the foot, but like, it's just impressive that it stays. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, like a little dick hug,
we can put little clit socks on.
like little jelly bean covers. There you go. That's what we can make, little clit covers for the physique
Clit
more.
covers.
New merch
But
dropping.
yeah, new merch. TPF clit
New
covers.
merch dropping. Oh my God, that's
God.
awesome.
Okay, I can't find this guy. But legit, if I feel bad for the dude because he's got a nice physique, but literally your eyes just go straight
The schlong,
to the yeah, the schlong dong.
the schlong.
But yeah, I don't know how we got on the topic of DX, but
Oh, it's because I saw
oh,
that
that guy.
that picture and I
Yeah.
was like, oh, I have to send this. Like, y'all need an
How
update
do
on.
you do? How do you do after
I,
complaining and hating everybody?
he was
Right.
he was bragging that he beat an 80-year-old grandpa.
Oh, good job.
Yeah,
Wow, what a loser.
yeah.
But
It's just one of those things. I was like,
oh,
congrats
So
on
stick your tie.
no,
Very.
but I think the thing that we wanted to really talk about today, though, because like the Meg reposted something from Maddie Fasaro. That's a dope name. But like just talking about how it is hard. And I think a lot of the times, especially nowadays, hard is synonymous with bad. And so therefore you want to avoid it. And in my opinion, that couldn't be further from the truth. Just because something is hard, it doesn't mean it's automatically bad. It's challenging and therefore it provides opportunity for growth. But I think nowadays, because of the whole like self-love movement and fluff and all that shit, where hard is like bad because comfort is good. And not to say like we shouldn't be grateful for the niceties and the comforts that we have, but we shouldn't let that turn into stagnation when it
mhm.
comes to the growth of the mind or the physique or whatever it is that you want to pursue in life, even outside of like being a bodybuilder.
Yeah, I agree. I think it goes back to, how we talk about snowflakes all the time on this podcast. But it is, I mean, we're in this society where we're giving out participation awards and giving everybody a good job, you did it when they literally didn't do shit, you know? Like we're
Wow.
just awarding complete shit because everybody's feelings will get hurt if we don't.
Mhm.
And we have to support equality.
Mhm.
I hate it so much, but it's making us weak-minded and it's bringing soft physiques to the stage because of it. And I think it's funny because these people think like, oh, you don't have to push that hard in prep because it's like that self-love movement, but they're like bashing bodybuilding. Like, oh, bodybuilding is ruining your food relationship. So do it if it fits your macros. You don't have to do that much cardio. You don't have to do it's like, yes, you do to get into stage condition. You know, there's some people who don't have to, and those are the people who are preaching that you don't have to do it. And then these people with subpar like potato salad genetics are listening and they're like, oh yeah, okay, I got this. And then they step on stage looking like crap. But yeah,
I
no,
think that's
definitely.
a money thing though too. That the
Yeah.
fact that they have so many shows now that shows are now becoming 3 people in a class, which is fucking ridiculous. Like when I first started competing, there was 20, 30 people in a class and
Mhm.
it was competitive. Even if not everybody there was awesome,
Mhm.
enough people there that there was caliber of clientele that they were good.
Mhm.
I
Dude, I
think
wish I would change that. You know, if there's like only one person or just two people in a class, I feel like they should combine height classes,
they
especially
will.
when it's height. They will, but
But
some
I mean,
shows won't because of the money, because they
no,
want more.
it's not even that. I mean, I think that you should have an expiration date that you have to be signed up for, and they need X amount of X amount of competitors
Yeah,
per class
Mhm.
to make it valid for that to be a qualifier to a national level show.
I
Because it's
agree.
bullshit.
I think that's smart.
I would
But
agree on the national qualification. The
yeah,
problem is like NBC's a business, show promoters it's business. They want to make money. And like I don't want to be like super like callous and be like, oh, it's only just about money. Because like obviously there are Jesus, some show promoters that actually give a fuck. Like thinking of like the Tampa Pro Amateur. Like that's a very nicely run show. You know, you can definitely tell that the show promoters that like put it on like really do care about the athletes, both the professionals and the amateurs. So in terms of like having less shows, I agree with the fact where have as many shows as you want, but if there's not enough athletes to be competitive and actually like have comparisons, then you lose the ability to nationally qualify. Like you
mhm.
lose that ability because like you are going to be in for a slap in the fucking face if you're a class of two and you win nationally qualify, technically both of you, and then you go to a national show and you're just like,
Yeah, yeah.
but
But getting back to the actual topic of the bad is not, or sorry, hard is not bad, that it's just so prevalent in anything that we do, though. It's not just related to bodybuilding. You know, it comes with like work too. Like people, they don't want to work too hard now because, you know, stress and all this stuff. And so they need more the mental health days and all this like foo-foo shit. Like I agree to an extent, but I do think that it's softening us as like just a society in a whole.
like if you need a mental health day, take a mental health day, but don't say that you
Yeah.
need a mental health day. Like don't post about it. Like,
Yeah. If
like
you're posting about your mental health day, it's really it's not like
or they're like
the
post about
people who
being like
cry and they record themselves crying,
I was
or
like
they set themselves up to capture them doing a good deed. It's like you're not actually a good human then if you have to like show that off to everybody.
yeah,
God.
my favorite is like, oh, I'm being off my phone. But then they'll post about being
They
off their
post
phone.
it.
They'll like do like a little like boomerang and then like walking in grass in their bare feet or like eating a salad outside and being like, oh, I'm doing such a good job being off my phone. And I'm like,
Schedule it
what are
in.
you doing? I was like,
God.
Jesus Christ, if you're gonna be off your phone, be off your phone. You don't need to post about being off your phone. It's not a
I
competition.
know.
You're not gonna get a star. Boop.
Dude. I love the stories where they just post up the story, taking a social media detox. That's it. And then 2 days later, they're back on. I'm like, why'd you even have to come on to social media? Like,
They're back on, and guys, I learned
nobody
so much about
cares.
myself.
No one gives a fuck.
Like one, no
Say, if
one cares.
anybody
Two,
even
no, you
noticed.
didn't.
Yeah. Like, you could probably stay off social media for like 2 weeks and nobody would notice. But
Maybe your
yeah,
mom would. She might be like,
yeah,
"You
maybe.
okay?"
Yeah, my mom would. My mom
I would
would.
not know. Nope.
She didn't follow you? Your mama doesn't follow you.
That's
Mom,
Kathy's
I'm
always
on
checking
Facebook.
out.
That's it.
I love me some Kathy.
Yeah. It's just like super cringe. Like I'm all for like being authentic and being real, but it's like you don't need to tell everyone every single detail of your life because
Mm-hmm.
like just live. Like just like do the life without posting people that you're living life. Because like your true friends, your true people, they're gonna know you're living life because you're actually having meaningful conversations with them. Or it's like, you're talking about what you're doing in your life. Like, I'm really into reading right now, and I'm reading both like the Tim Grover winning book and then just other like thriller shit, which like holy shit, it's like really fun. I'll like be like 5 chapters in, I'll be like, no, I never expected him to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like shit like that's really cool, but it's like nowadays we're so distracted and in such desperation of attention that like we feel like we are owed everyone's time, attention, trophies, winning, whatever, without working for it. Like it's that instant gratification bullshit. And I'm like, it ain't like that. Like the real world's not like that. Like I understand from a like if you're like in kindergarten where everyone gets a little trophy because like kids aren't emotionally equipped to understand what it means to win or lose. Like after that kindergarten era, you need to understand what it means to lose. Like you need to understand how that feels
Mm-hmm.
because that's real life. Like when you are in the corporate world or once you're finally a fucking adult, you are going to lose more than you win. And if you don't have the emotional coping skills to rise above and let that empower you to show you that you need to work harder to get whatever it is that you want. Like that's what's wrong with society right now is they're expecting everything to be easy hunky dory and they're expecting to always win without doing anything about it.
Yeah. I kind of said something when we were talking about like celebrating the small wins and stuff, is that people like dwell on their failures too much and they forget to celebrate the wins sometimes too, is they just see it as a failure. Like me stepping on the Tampa Pro stage in 2020, like that was technically my best physique ever to date. And I thought I was gonna place at least. And I ended up in last place, like 16th place. That's not even placing. That's dead last. And I did walk away from that show kind of sour about bodybuilding because I did put in a lot of work, just like every other competitor up there.
Mm-hmm.
But I had to mature as an athlete over the past 4 years to realize, okay, that wasn't an indication of my value or of my worth as an athlete. I just need more skin in the game and I need to take that feedback and just put it into action. Like you just dwelling over your placing and saying, oh, it was because of this, this, and this, when you could just get the feedback and actually understand why. But you're just like creating these false narratives in your head because that's easier.
Mm-hmm.
And people don't like losing. It sucks. It does suck. But
Yeah.
that's how you make like a stronger minded athlete. And then your win is going to be even better when
Mm-hmm.
you actually lose. I was happy I lost. Fuck. Because I'm going into the next show with like, I don't give a fuck. I'm just getting on stage to show you my booty that I grew. you know? Like, I don't care. I have no expectations next year. And it feels so nice.
Yeah. I think your ability to handle a loss, whether it's in a competitive show
Mm-hmm.
or you didn't get the promotion that you thought you were going to get. Like it's something like how you handle it and your next actions really tell your character. Because if you just are the person that is like takes the loss because, oh, it wasn't in the cards for me, or oh, I'm the victim, or whatever, it's like you lost because it either wasn't your time or you didn't work hard enough or someone else was just better than you. You know what I'm saying? Like regardless of like the circumstance as to why you lost, pause for a second. Feel the shit. Like feel the loss because it sucks. Like even if you're a sore or a good loser and you like take it on the chin, it still hurts because like to be told that you're not good enough, like that fucking hurts. But pause for a second, go back to the drawing board. Like once you feel and process that emotion, then go back to the drawing board and logically say, how am I going to get better? Like, how is that outcome going to actually help me and propel me further to get that job promotion, to get that, better physique in terms of bodybuilding, to, maybe get better or more athletes on your roster. Like whatever it is that you are focusing on growing, like that is something that is so powerful when it comes to understanding that like losses can help propel you further to your wins. And especially true in like Meg's case that she just talked about.
Yeah. Yeah. And fuck. I was gonna say something and then it just escaped my mind. It was on the tip of my tongue, dude. That's crazy. Laura, you say something. I
I was
don't
gonna
know
say,
where that thought went.
I feel like that kind of falls into like the same category as always being open to learning. That you're
Mhm.
never too far ahead, advanced, etc. With whatever it is if you keep that open mind, that you're receptive to feedback and suggestions and all of those types of things. Like that's only going to propel you forward. Being too proud, being too cocky or whatever you want to call it is only going to hold you back.
Yeah, I got it. Found the thought. I got it. Um, if you cannot accept criticism or feedback, then this probably isn't the sport for you though, because it is highly subjective. Because you can go in at your best, bringing exactly what the criteria is, but we've talked about it before. It's like apples to oranges. Like if there's all these apples on stage and then you're the orange, that's probably not going to be actually in your favor. It
Mm-hmm.
may seem like it, like, oh, I'm the biggest, I'm the most conditioned. But when the majority isn't like that, they're going to be judging the majority. And that's just how it goes. That's how the cookie crumbles. But it is very subjective. So if you can't handle criticism, feedback, and a loss, do powerlifting. I don't know, do a black and white sport where it's like, okay, you're throwing I don't know, a ball into a goal or whatever the fuck. Like, like pick a sport that's gonna be less subjective.
I
I
mean,
don't,
if you can't accept criticism, I don't think the deviation is go pick another sport because there's going to be criticism in every
oh yeah,
sport. Like, like Tom Brady, like he's like one of the best quarterbacks there was, you know what I'm saying? But he still got
yeah.
criticized. So it's like if you can't accept criticism, that's a character defect that you need to work on. Like you can't, you got to work on that shit because like there is dad shaming, mom shaming, bodybuilding shaming, like
Yeah.
golf shaming. There's Bro, someone you could be walking down the street and someone could be like, yo, you're walking wrong. Because like
Yeah.
everyone has different opinions on shit, but it's whether or not that criticism is valid, which is kind of what we talked about like X amount of podcasts ago, where it's like, is the criticism actually valid or is it someone's opinion just being mean? And so it's
Yeah.
like, taking criticism with a grain of salt in some cases, because like most people don't know what the fuck they're talking about, or if you wouldn't ask them for advice, don't
Mhm.
listen to their fucking opinion. You know what I'm saying? But it's like it's okay to have criticism, and to grow from it and learn from it if it's valid. Because
Yeah.
like, I'm sorry, but no one here is perfect.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, like, shit, when I look at a bodybuilding scorecard and then I look at the stage shots, I'm like, I don't know what happened. Like,
Mm-hmm.
what was why? At least like with the Olympics with running, like what their chest has to cross the line or their toe or some shit. There's a clear fucking line. That's
There's
the
a
winner. That's the loser. And bodybuilding, it's like, I don't know, and you just have to accept that going into the show. Like the result may be, I don't know. You just gotta be a stronger, wiser athlete.
Mhm.
Stop complaining.
Word. Word.
Word.
Any final thoughts, or can we get into fun questions?
Do it.
Some fun
Okay.
ones. I think I have a fun question.
Oh, go for it. Go. Go, go,
Oh
gadget.
shit, not first.
Oh, okay.
You go second. Oh wait, I know mine. Okay, are you ready?
Yes.
If all animals were the same size, which one would win in a fight? All animals, same size. Which one? You got like a fucking lion the size of a goldfish, or a bear the size of a mouse.
Because it's not always about size and power. And if they're all the same size, then I would probably rule out animals that obviously dominate over size because of strength. And then I'd be looking at more of which ones are tenacious. So I'm thinking like mongoose or honey badger, like animals that will
I
just
was
like,
gonna say honey badger.
yeah, like animals that are just like
Yeah,
resilient.
fucking just ready to
Yep.
put dick off and leave. Yeah,
Yep.
same. Laura, are you on team honey badger there.
Oh, I'm gonna go with like a poisonous spider or something like that.
That's pussy.
Oh, that's a good one too. Because I'm just thinking, like, obviously, like one, and you're like, yeah.
Yeah.
But what is the size of the spider? Are we saying that the spider is the size of the honey badger, or the honey badger is the size of the spider?
Or a scorpion, something
How
that's got
cute.
venom that can kill.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Yeah, I
obviously,
guess
like,
any size would be scary there.
yeah.
But
Oh.
a honey badger that's like this small, that would be, but then it kills you. It's like, whoa, I don't know.
Okay, so we kind of talked about this earlier, but I mean, you can still have a different opinion. What bodily function would you wish would just go away? Just no.
Projectile puking.
Okay.
Never again.
Yeah, that's a good one. For me, it's Eric sneezing. Just specifically Eric sneezing. I wish that would just go away. I wish it would just go away. Just go.
Wait, what was the question again? Bodily what?
Bodily function that you wish would
Okay.
just go away.
I hate when old people have that wet cough.
Oh, that's a good
Oh,
one. Wet people
I
cough?
wish I wish I could just write their death certificate
Yeah.
right there. When they start wet coughing, and I'm like, nope, you gotta go.
Yeah.
That's nasty.
I get
Maybe
that. It's kind of the
not.
same line with Eric sneezing because it's just like it is just such a wet sneeze where you're like,
I need to hear the sneeze.
dude, it's just like it's just and there's never just one, too. It's always like two or three and they're wet. And I'm like,
Ooh.
will you not? Can you not? And especially when he has allergies for allergy season for me, like I'm about to get
Ashley's
a hotel. Like literally, it's like it's so like I am not even just being a bitch. My cat Uma will meow at him when he sneezes. It is that fucking annoying. She's just like even the cat doesn't like it. So it's not just me being a bitch.
Try to get him on video. I want to hear his sneeze.
Try to try to sneak a sneeze.
Make a sneeze. A little pepper underneath the nose.
I'm tied between the projectile vomit and like projectile diarrhea.
Dude, let
I
me
would
just
vomiting.
put this in your wait.
I had both when I
Yeah,
was sick at the same time.
that's
Like
rough.
I don't like
All
painting the
right.
back of a toilet like anyone else, but I'd still rather do that with my ass than my like esophagus because like it's just vomiting for me is just nah.
Dude,
Yeah.
I didn't even make it to the toilet. I was full on running through my living room and just ugh. It was that intense. I'm happy I made it off the couch though. Fuck. Yeah, that was
You
nice.
can't puke on the couch. You finally got one that you like.
I know it's white too. Got dogs to ruin that. God. But okay,
All right,
I
my
have
turn.
another question. Oh,
Oh,
you go. Go first.
you could pick one food for the rest of your life from
Mhm.
a fast food place that
Okay.
doesn't make you fat or whatever the case, no negative effects. What would it be? You had to eat it every day.
I have my sweet, but
You
can we
don't
do two
have to.
different places? Can I have a sweet and a savory?
So greedy. Yes, go ahead.
Go for it.
So my savory would be like a Frisch's Big Boy. Like I don't like. Do you guys you don't know? Do you not know what a
I
Frisch's
don't
is?
know.
No.
What are you talking about? What language is this?
Okay, so
See?
for my Ohio people, for my more like Midwestern folk,
Huh?
you've never heard of Frisch's Big Boy, like the little like he kind of looks like a fucking Italian like I don't
Baby?
even know. He's got like a Fonzie haircut, but he has like a checkered little thing. It's called Frisch's Big Boy, and they have like hamburgers, but they put tartar sauce on it, and it was like a revolutionary thing. And it sounds fucking vile, but like when you actually eat it, you're like, wow, this is like the best thing ever. So for me, it would be like a Frisch's Big Boy. That would be my savory, and my sweet, honestly, would probably be a McDonald's holiday pie. Like they have just like a custard pie that they used to have, like the little turnover that like my fat ass would go ham on during the holidays.
I would do some grilled chicken nuggets from Chick-fil-A and then Dairy Queen, just a large ass vanilla with a shit ton of sprinkles,
Mm.
rainbow sprinkles. Eh, simple. I'm a simple woman.
Okay.
Laura, you would do hot dog stir fry or some bullshit.
Hot dog
No,
stir fry. She would do blueberry muffin for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
no, I'm going with a Oreo McFlurry from McDonald's.
I
That's
wouldn't have
it.
guessed. I never would have
No
guessed.
protein. What if their ice cream's down? What are you gonna do? Starve?
Probably.
Oh,
There's protein in it. It comes with dairy.
I'm
Oh,
just gonna have to do what?
speaking of Oreo, you guys, did you see the Oreo and the Coke collab? I
No.
don't know if that was real or not, but I saw a thing
Oreo
on
Coke?
Instagram. Yeah, that Oreo and Coke were collabing. So there's going to be a Coca-Cola flavored Oreo, and then there's going to be an Oreo flavored Coca-Cola. Which one would you likely try
You,
first?
this both sound awful.
I would
They both,
drink the Oreo flavored Coke because calories, like
yeah, they are
sugar
kind of
free. But I probably wouldn't try the Coca-Cola flavored Oreo.
yeah, Oreo Coca-Cola sandwich cookie or a Coca-Cola Oreo zero sugars soda. Well, it's zero sugars, so nothing to lose. I tried the drink.
Yeah.
That's
Is it a
about it.
real thing?
Yeah,
I
it's
think,
a collab. It's a
yeah.
collaboration coming.
Mhm.
She's not like everyone else.
I'm sorry.
Oh, I
I
said interesting. I wouldn't have thought that would be maybe something chocolate would have made more sense to me, but
Yeah, I don't know.
The
chocolate
world's full
Coke.
of possibilities. They had a
Interesting.
Coke coffee that like Eric would like shit himself for that he loved. And like literally he's always bitching about, you know what I want? I want a Coke coffee because I don't want a full coffee because there's too much caffeine. But the Coke coffee was like 70 milligrams of caffeine, and he's like, that's the sweet spot. And I was
No,
like,
that's
Tell him
not.
and fuck up.
yeah. I
What's your
mean,
next question, Meg?
Um, okay. If you were a pizza topping, what would you be and why?
oh, I'm gonna go with banana peppers because I make everybody's mouth water.
Oh my God. Okay.
This doesn't mean
No, but
what
they
we actually
fucking
like
slap.
on pizza.
What?
I thought we were picking toppings like as of what you would like on your pizza.
Yeah,
Continue.
Oh,
if
did I do that wrong?
no, if you were a pizza topping, what would you be and why? You
Banana
made
peppers, bitch. I love
yeah.
banana peppers. The ones that
I,
are pickled, not like just out of the garden. Like you gotta pickle me first. You know what I'm saying? You gotta make sure I'm like ripe and pickled.
What would
I'm
you
a,
do? Laura?
I'm a plain Jane person with pizza. I just like plain pizza, cheese.
So you're just
Why would
cheese.
you be cheese then? What's
Cheese.
the why? Just that's
Why?
the answer. Cheese, cheese.
It's
Yeah.
just cheese.
Yeah. I've never been someone that likes all jazzy shit on my pizza.
I think I'd be pepperoni because I'd bring the meat. That's funny.
I
She's
don't
like,
think
'cause I
I've
give
ever
them
had pizza
cheese.
in my life.
I was thinking of Arby's. Why? Oh, that's why. Because you said Arby's last podcast. I was like, why
Yes.
did I say meats again? Yeah, I
I
would eat a sausage or pepperoni because I have meat.
I almost sent you a picture the other day, Ash. I was driving to work and I saw the sign from Wendy's that they were serving breakfast. I'm like, I wonder if she went to Wendy's for breakfast too.
No, it was literally just Arby's and McDonald's because those were the big like breakfast places back in like the early 2000s. Taco
You
Bell
didn't
breakfast
get
wasn't a
Dunkin' Donuts?
thing, and I don't think Wendy's had breakfast back then.
Burger King had some shit because my sister and my mom would always eat it on the
At
way to
the
school.
early
It was
2000s?
like, yeah, it was like French toast dippers, and there's something else from Burger King, I thought.
I remember
I don't
that
know.
being more in high school, but like the middle school breakfast, like the middle school and elementary is when we did breakfast. So
Mm,
like it was Arby's and McDonald's. That was what we
mm,
had like the combo from. Yeah, good times. Good
good
times.
time. I haven't seen an Arby's in a minute.
There's like
I
one
don't
right
even know
by
what they
my
sell
There's
house.
there
not
except for roast beef.
All I
I don't
remember is like they used to have like the 5 for 5 deal that we would always like capitalize on because it's 5 roast beef sandwiches and we had a family of five, so naturally we would get like 2 orders. Um, but like nowadays, I feel like the 5 for 5 is like 5 for 10. I'm like, that is so much fucking money for like mediocre meat, but whatever.
Hmm.
Title of the podcast.
Dude, it's expensive nowadays for anything.
Go to Costco. Costco hot dogs are still $1.50 though. All beef, just saying.
How does that work?
How's what?
Inflation happening and the hot dog price is staying the same.
It's like there's actually a,
What do
a,
they do?
a YouTube video as to why they don't do those prices. Like they're willing to take the loss on the $1.50 like drink and hot dog situation just because of like I think it was like the owners, like the OG owners of Costco were like it will always be $1.50.
Got a grandfather and in, yeah.
Yeah. Dude, I'm saying like people go ham for the Costco food court. Like that's their lunch, you know what I'm saying? Like I'll be grocery shopping and like they'll be like men in business suits that are just there for like the Costco food court. I'm like, it can't be that good, but apparently it is.
Still don't have a membership. We go to Sam's when we feel like dealing with Sam's.
I respect
Yeah.
that. At least you're buying in bulk.
That's the thing here. There's Market Basket. I don't know if that's near you guys, and it's like the cheap whatever. But the like headache of going in there, like I'm going to Whole Foods. Fuck this. Nope.
Foods. Oh my God.
It's
I only go to Whole Foods to return my Amazon packages.
Dude,
That's
no
about it.
fucking A.
yeah. I buy
Fuck that.
Trader Joe's and Whole Foods. That's the only places I really go.
Ah, bougie bitch. Go
Literally.
to Walmart.
You know.
I go to our neighborhood Walmart.
Oh, speaking of, so someone mentioned insulin. For the first time, I am trying like Slin, like
Yeah.
actual fast acting. Love it.
Mhm. Yeah.
Love it. Like I was like trying to get used to like the little clicks.
Oh
Like
yeah, the Hoot Log.
Yeah.
yeah, the little click and squirt.
I love
Yeah.
it.
Dude, fucking love it. I mean, I've always been a Novolent N or Novolent
Yeah.
R person because of Walmart. You just like schooly boop up, check out. Literally, it says on the receipt diabetes. You buy your diabetes at Walmart. And I finally like went to my person, and I was like, "Do you have an insulin pen?" He's like, "I got you. You want short or long?" I was like, "I want short." I love that I don't crash because Novolent R, like depending
Make
upon how
crash?
you dose it, like you can like ride pretty good, but sometimes like even if you dose it and time it properly, like it just acts longer than you think, and then you could be on a walk and it like hits where you're like, I'm feeling
You
like
know,
Eminem
yeah,
song.
that is true. Because when I did use it, like I'm very adamant that my insulin is very like when I do dose it, it's like to the T.
Yeah.
No more, no less.
Mhm.
That's it. Same with the carbs when I eat them.
Yep.
But yeah, it would hit me. I would have to chug my intra. I forgot. Yeah.
Yep.
Been a while since
Yeah.
Have either of you ever accidentally taken wrong doses with that?
Never
um
doses. It was just unstable. And so, like I said, I might be like mid-set and I might be like, oh fuck, I need to like sit with my intro and just like give a second. But like the rapid acting, I don't have like crashes like that.
No, I thought I took initial. This was a while ago. I thought I was taking 3 units of insulin, and I took 30.
what
And
the fuck?
What do you have the
Laura?
twisty at the top? How are you
it,
dosing it?
no, it wasn't the. It was the
Is
Novo.
it
And
Novolin? And okay.
yeah, so
You
Oh, okay.
out
put
for a
okay.
walk, and all of a sudden I'm profusely sweating.
Yeah. Yeah. You were going quite hypo.
Oh yeah, I get home and I take just to like see my. I was like a 38. It's like,
Ooh, holy crap.
yeah.
Keep candy in
Bro.
your bag, people. Keep glucose tabs in your bag.
Literally, like emergency rice cakes or some shit like that. You need grumpy bears. You remember that we keep gummy
Oh
bears in there
yeah.
for Eric? You need grumpy bears.
Yeah.
We learned.
Yeah.
We're gonna learn today.
We learned. So
I'm not
recap, hard is not bad. Make sure you're not a nummy numbers with your insulin dosing.
listening.
And what's
Uh
another good takeaway from the podcast?
um don't put hamsters in your pants.
Leave the gerbils out of your pants. Please leave the gerbil. Please leave all rodents in their cages.
You
Thank
are
you.
not
Good night.
judged on your junk.
Be
Well,
open to criticism,
The judges are not judging your junk.
but they may
but we're
be.
judging your junk.
I am not looking at anybody's junk. But don't put any food
I will
against
for a modest fee because Costco is expensive. Actually, no, it's not. Laura will judge it for a modest fee because this bougie bitch goes to Trader Joe's and Whole Foods.
Whole
So give
Foods.
Laura, so she can
Ah,
feed her Whole Foods addiction.
Jesus Christ. That's crazy. I didn't take you as a Whole Foods lady.
I know Whole Foods and an Oreo McFlurry. I feel like our friendship is at like a C plus right now with just like
Mhm.
surprises.
Is walking distance from my house.
The Whole
So
Foods or the
It doesn't
McFlurry?
mean it's bad.
the Whole Foods. That's part of the problem. You know,
Okay.
you like need something and it's just like right there.
I don't know. Walmart's 10 minutes. Whole Foods is
Meg,
10
you've been to
seconds
my
off.
house. We've walked to the
Walmart
neighborhood
is
Walmart.
30 minutes regardless. It's 30 minutes from my house.
What is?
Walmart. The super Walmart that actually has food. Not all Walmarts have food.
Fair.
Yeah. I don't know. Whole Foods, nope. Amazon packages only. Can't do it.
Word. Word.
But
Cool. That's all I got, ladies.
all right.
Thanks
Peace.
for
I gotta go
podding.
trade my booty.
I gotta go take a piss.